Hello, lovely people. It is Catherine Massell, Ascending Earth Creatrix, Intuitive Energy Healer, talking about some crazy cosmic turbulence and timeline collapsing at a very accelerated rate, the thinning of the veil, all kinds of fun stuff. So let me make sure I'm sharing this. I'm going to talk to you guys about what's going on. Hey Becky and hey Beckhart, and give you some really fun visuals to help you kind of understand what's going on as well. I'm going to share this in my group and on my timeline. Okay. So probably, oh good, you're here, Courtney. I was just going to tag you because this was your question that made me want to go live today and talk about this stuff, because I realized, because I had 2 client sessions today and my Heal, Awake, and Align group, and it just feels like everybody was just kind of like, tilting in a weird direction today. So I want to kind of give you a little synopsis of what's going on. Yes, Courtney, very intuitive of you to see that. Let me share on my personal page too, because the more people that see this, the better. So people can know they're not going crazy. Okay, so I'm feeling these Ascension symptoms. They don't usually bother me, but these are pretty intense. I was tilting yesterday. That's how I feel today, Becky. I feel like I'm just kind of like, just a little bit leaning in a different direction, and I know the reason for it, why I'm leaning toward the right anyway. So here's what's going on, peoples. So we have a lot of we have a series of many collapsing timelines right now. So if you're feeling really frustrated and it feels like you're kind of doing the same thing over and over again on a loop, so a lot of times when we have an incredible amount of collapsing timelines at once, it almost feels like we're in a loop, like we're in a time loop. And it feels like, wait, didn't I just say that? Or didn't we just talk about this? Or didn't I just do that? Or we're driving and we feel like we just drove around in a circle. Or like we grabbed something from the fridge and it's on the counter and it's like, wait a minute, did I grab that from the fridge just now? Like we have these weird time blips. So that's one thing that happens. Grayson mentioned he was dizzy. Yes. And I'm going to talk about this because it's messing with our equilibrium. I'm going to talk about that very specifically, Becky. So thank you for saying that. As usual, your comments help me to stay on point, where I tend to be rather tangential in my talks. You always help me to stay on point. You're brilliant. But what we also have going on, Delilah has taken life for an hour to fall asleep for 2 nights in a row. Wow. You are here to serve, Becky. That's why I love you, darling. We also have a very thin veil. So think of the boundary in between spirit and form as a very thin veil. And at this time particularly, because of the amount of collapsing timelines, not just because it's a waning moon, but it's also compounded by the fact that we have a lot of timelines collapsing and we have new ascension timelines moving in almost simultaneously. Like it's just like kind of like a boom right now. There's a thinning of the veil because of the waning moon as well. So when this happens, it's like this semi-permeable membrane in between, boundaries in between spirit and form. So if you have been sleeping and you've been having dreams that feel very vivid, they might be short, but they may be very succinct and have a very clear message that's pretty easily downloadable. Like usually our brains, when we're sleeping and we have dreams, the subconscious speaks to us in metaphor. But you might find that those of you who are sleeping and having very vivid, very lucid dreaming, it might even feel like, that the messages are coming in hard and fast and very clear and are very discernible. So there's that too. Because how do I say this? When we have this semi-permeable membrane like this, and it's such a thin membrane, divider, boundary between spirit and form, messages that come through from spirit, from ether, come through very, very specifically, succinctly, and kind of leave no doubt or confusion. So there might have been that. Yeah, it's been crazy for you too, Becky. Okay, so this is what's going on. So, for instance, like tomorrow, I'm doing my Transmuting the Sacred Elements activation in my Ascended Feminine Initiation, because this is the perfect time to work with Crone Woman energy, Crone Goddess, because she's all about the waning moon and the thinning of the veil, and it's like her time to be most powerful. So I often dream the night before I deliver these light language transmissions of, I go to bed with the intention of, what's the information I need to bring in during the light language transmission? Like, what am I knowing that I'm communicating, even though I'm speaking a different language? And so literally what I was dreaming last night was so vivid and so clear. It's going to be bump, 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 this, and this. I'm like, okay, well, that was easy. So it's because of the compounding effects of the thinning of the veil in this time of the waning moon, of the many, many collapsing timelines that are happening, and ascension timelines coming in simultaneously. So it's kind of this feeling of cosmic turbulence. That's a really good way to put it. I saw that written today. I was like, yes, that's brilliant. Cosmic turbulence. So anything, as above, so below. We're going to feel it down here, but it really tends to have this reverberating effect down here that is so profound, because the dense energetic vibration here is felt like, it's like we're in a car down here with no shocks. We feel every bump on the road, okay? So as we travel through the ascended realms and ascended dimensions, and especially when we move fully into the fifth dimensional timeline, we feel these ripples in a much less profound way because the energetic vibration isn't as dense. So here's how many of us feel this. And I'm going to give you this great visual. Are you ready? So think of all this stuff that's happening in terms of, we're all connected, yes? All consciousness is connected. And we are connected by something that I see very profoundly as the divine creative matrix. It is a grid that connects the energy of all that is. Source, God, Creator, ascended beings, planetary beings, interplanetary beings, our subconscious, this crystal, this glass of water, this pen. It's all, everything is connected, okay? And we're connected by a divine creative matrix. So it's like the universal forces at work right now. It's like when you take a quilt and you're making the bed, and the bed is all rumpled and the sheets and the quilt is all rumpled. It's like taking it and shaking it so it lays out flat. And sometimes, if you have a heavier quilt, you've got your winter quilt on, your winter comforter or down blanket, you got to give it a couple shakes before it lays out flat. Okay? It's a restructuring. It's a reintegrating, reweaving of the grid. It's an energetic upgrade overall, so it feels like a total reset. And sometimes in order to get a total reset, it's like that feeling of like shaking out a quilt or a blanket to make it lay flat. So I know that that's a really funny analogy, but if you think about it that way, it kind of makes sense. So I want to talk about specifically some of the ascension symptoms that we're feeling and how you can help to lessen them and feel a little more grounded. So because you have this incredibly accelerated rate of these time blips and collapsing timelines, even timelines that are moving in, when we feel it in this very dense energetic vibration of our body, one of the ways we feel it is heart palpitations. So feeling like your heart is like pounding out of its chest sometimes, and this will wake us up. So many of us who are feeling like we can't get through the night sleeping, like pay attention to what it is that's waking you up. Do you feel like your heart is beating really fast? Do you feel like it's beating super hard in your chest? So if you think about your heart as your means for like regulating all the body rhythms, what it's trying to do is reset your body rhythm in alignment with what's going on cosmically, okay? So a really good way for you to do that, let me see if I have it here. I thought I had my bloodstone up here. If you don't have bloodstone, red garnet will work very nicely. But bloodstone is optimal because bloodstone works with regulating the rhythm of the heart. So if you have a nice bloodstone crystal that you can put next to your bedside, it will really, really help with your sleep patterns. Putting a rose quartz next to your bed is also a wonderful equalizer. So having both of those next to your bed is great. This is a piece of moss quartz, which is very grounding. And so I keep that next to my bed as well. So the bloodstone is extremely grounding as well. So you might want to have those next to your bed. That will really, really help. Another thing that we're feeling is we feel really dry-mouthed. So we need water because we're flushing out. Hey, Julie, we're flushing out a lot of toxins right now too because, again, remember with what the body is trying to do is reset itself based on very powerful cosmic energies, this incredible cosmic turbulence that we're experiencing. So the body is trying to regulate and normalize and constantly reset itself to meet the energetic of what is happening, okay? And it's also trying to reconcile itself with pressure changes because we're experiencing a lot of different pressure changes too. So this is going to make us thirstier. It's going to make us more dry mouth. So make sure that you are drinking lots and lots of pure water. Electrolyte water is optimal because it's going to be more alkaline in nature. Our bodies, when we're trying to reset and pressurize, will go towards more the acid side of the scale. So the more alkalizing foods you eat, leafy green vegetables, chlorophyll water. I am always, if you guys watch me live, you know I'm always drinking my chlorophyll water. It's a blood purifier as well, which will also help the heart. We're leaching out a lot of toxins right now, and with that we lose a lot of trace minerals. So make sure you're getting a magnesium supplement. There's a great magnesium supplement that I take that's called Calm, and it's a powder, and you just add it to a water and it dissolves in the water. And they have like a lemon and a raspberry flavored or an unflavored, but it's just something you add to your water. You can drink a little bit every day. Don't drink too much, you'll have horrible diarrhea. So Courtney Harper says, chills and goosebumps. Yes, I've been having heart palpitations for a few days now, and it has definitely... I can't read the rest of it. No, I don't want to give it an angry face. Why can't I see the comments? It's so irritating. For a few days now, and it has definitely stopped me in my tracks. Yes, I know. That's a perfect analogy. Good. And those of you who are joining late, I have an analogy for what's going on in the universe right now and what it feels like. So just understand that these things are happening for everyone. We're all feeling it in our own individual way based on our energetic signature, based on where we are on our own level of spiritual evolution and expansion. We're all going to feel this in a different way. We're all going to, grapple with trying to make sense out of it. But just understand that it's a little bit of a speed bump right now, and understand that because we are in a very dense energetic vibration, it's like the other analogy I used is like we're in a car without any shocks. So we're feeling all the bumps in the road, and it can be really jarring, but it's temporary. So when I checked in before I did this live here, I checked in and I'm like, okay, what's the timeline we're working on here? And I'm being told it's a week, which seems like a really long time. So all the more reason to really take care of yourself right now and make sure you're eating good foods. This is incredible to help us with this process, because the more nourished you are and the body is getting fuel instead of just food, it's getting fuel, it will be able to ride out the more intense parts of reconciling with these energies in a lot better way, okay? So lots of water, drink your green chlorophyll water. One of my favorite things to make, and I drink it pretty much year round at this time, is my spa water. Because you get a lot of minerals from using organic greens and vegetables in there. So my spa water is, I'll do like a big 2-liter container with a spigot on it, like you would use for an outdoor iced tea container or something, and this all fresh organic stuff. Organic lemon, organic orange, organic lime, because citrus fruits are really, really important to help us reconcile with Ascension Symptoms. The vitamin C is a great purifier. It purifies the blood. And the citrus fruits are very grounding, okay? And don't peel the peel off or the pith. That's why you want to make sure you use organic vegetables, because in the pith and the peel there are a lot of bioflavonoids, and the body needs that too. So orange, lemon, lime, organic, just sliced up, put in there. Organic parsley, organic cilantro, organic mint. And then I also put a couple drops of my liquid chlorophyll in there so it's nice and green. It really helps. It really helps. And then you're constantly flushing the body and purifying the blood with this, and you're getting some valuable trace minerals that are being leached out during this ascension process. Okay, I hope that helps you guys. I hope that this finds you well. Know that you are not alone, okay? If you are tired, take naps. Don't deny yourself that. Again, remember, the body is resetting. The more help you give it during this time, the better you'll be able to ride this crazy wave of ascension we're all experiencing, okay? And guess who just started putting lemon and orange oils in my water in the past couple days? Nice. Awesome. Be careful when you're using the essential oils, because it's really easy to OD on the essential oils. It's better to use the fresh vegetables that are organic. Or oh, and cucumber too. Did I mention cucumber? Organic cucumber, as well as the herbs and the fresh lemons, oranges, limes. All right. Have a great day, you guys. I hope this helps. Mwah.